I'm Bucky Brooks, and we're going to take a look at the 10 best receivers that I've ever scouted since I started doing this in 2000. At 10, we're going to start with Chad Johnson. Before he was the spectacular playmaker that was known for his footwork and his outlandish touchdown celebrations, he was outstanding, dominating in the Pac-10 during his one and only season at Oregon State. Had over 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, but he displayed outstanding body control, balance, and quickness while he was torching defenses on the perimeter. As a pro, he was outstanding. Unique combination of quickness, body control, and ball skills helped him become one of the most prolific receivers in the National Football League. 7 times he went over the 1,000-yard mark and finished his career with over 11,000 yards and 67 touchdowns in a 10-year career. He is worthy of being on this list. At 9, how about ANDUAN Boldin coming from Florida State? And the thing about ANDUAN Boldin, I learned a great lesson in scouting, how you don't necessarily put too much emphasis on speed and quickness in a workout. You got to trust the tape. And when you watched him on tape at Florida State, physical, tough, had 118 receptions, over 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns in 3 seasons. He was an outstanding chain mover, big body playmaker who displayed outstanding physicality, and you saw that as a pro. He won the Offensive Rookie of the Year when he stepped into the league in 2003, and he was a 3-time Pro Bowl selectee. He is a guy that's been spectacular. He certainly deserves to be on this list. He makes it at number 9. At 8, I know you're going to laugh, but I want you to understand what Roy Williams was coming out of the University of Texas. He was spectacular. He delivered big plays during his time at Austin. In fact, he was the Longhorns' all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. More importantly, he was 6'3", 212 pounds, and ran a 4.36. How can you not get excited about a playmaker like that? During the league, he certainly didn't live up to the lofty expectations that accompanied his arrival, but he did make a Pro Bowl. He did have a 1,000-yard season, and he showed flashes of being a big-time playmaker, but because he was so dominant as a collegiate player, I have to put him up there. He makes my list at number 8. At 7, how about Deshaun Jackson? And I'll be the first to say you don't see many small receivers get big grades just because you wonder if they can live up and hold up to the physicality and toughness in the league. But Deshaun Jackson is one of the best big play specialists that I ever watched in college. At Cal, 29 total touchdowns, 22 receiving, 6 punt returns, and a rushing touchdown while he was there. But then he took it to the next level when he got into the league. This is one of the more prolific big play threats in NFL history. Ranks only behind Jerry Rice with 22 touchdowns of 60 yards or more. And he has 57 career receptions over 40 yards. That's something that you just don't find in a number 1 receiver. Spectacular player. He deserves to be on my list. That's why I got him there. At 6, let's go Braylon Edwards coming out of the University of Michigan. And I know you're saying, how did Braylon Edwards make it? But when you look back at what he was able to accomplish in Big Ten, 2004 Biletnikoff Award winner. Only receiver in Big Ten history to post 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and he has 17 100-yard games. On that alone, you have to give him a big grade. Then you look at the fact that he was big, 6'2", 210, 4.36 speed. He was a bit of a unicorn at the position. In the league, he was the ultimate tease. He had a Pro Bowl season where he was spectacular, but then the next season, he led the league in drops, and that was kind of the testament of his career. Was just inconsistent, could never consistently put it together. Because of that, he didn't play up to expectations, but in college, off the tape, you have to put him in the top 10. That's why he's there. At 5, how about A.J. Green, the University of Georgia? This is a big, talented playmaker, someone who was a bit of a ballerina during the 3 years that I watched him in the SEC. Great balance, body control, footwork, loved his agility and quickness, and he's continued to show that during his time in the National Football League. 6-time Pro Bowl selection, 5 1,000-yard seasons on his resume. He has 49 touchdowns in 86 games. He is worthy of being on this list because he's an extraordinary playmaker, and he has all the qualities that you look for at a number 1 receiver. At 4, Larry Fitzgerald coming out of the University of Pittsburgh. I don't think a lot of people realize he only played 2 seasons at Pitt, but dominated in the collegiate level. Won the Biletnikoff Award in 2003. Also had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and finished with 34 touchdowns in only 26 games. That's crazy production. Smooth route runner, great timing and pace, could lull defenders to sleep with his sneaky quickness, and he's continued to show that as a pro. In 14 years, 10-time Pro Bowl selectee, 1,100 catches, over 14,000 yards. He is a guy that will go down as arguably one of the best receivers in NFL history, and I think you can make the case he has the best hands that we've ever seen cross the lines. At 3, talk about an avatar, Julio Jones. This was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, so you're always going to pay attention to those guys. He goes to Alabama and dominates right from the jump. Big-time player, explosive quickness. You just don't see these kind of players kind of grace the earth, but he is someone that I've been excited about, and he's continued to be an exciting player as a pro. 4 Pro Bowl selections, a pair of All-Pro selections with the Atlanta Falcons. He has the highest receiving yards per game average of any player in NFL history, and he nearly shattered Calvin Johnson's single-season mark when he had over 1,800 yards a season ago. Number 2, Andre Johnson coming out of the U. We understand how many talented pass catchers have come out the U, but this is arguably the best one that we've ever seen down with the Hurricanes. Terrific player, scored 19 touchdowns his final 2 seasons down in Miami. But what was really impressive, big frame, 6'2", 230 pounds when he was in college. But he won the Big East in the 60-meter dash and the 100-meter dash. You don't see that kind of speed and quickness from a guy that size. In the pros, 7-time Pro Bowl selectee, 7 1,000-yard seasons, 70 career touchdowns. He surpassed the 100-catch mark 5 times in his career, and he led the NFL in receiving yards in 2 seasons. This is a guy that is worthy of being near the top of the list. Tremendous playmaker, lived up to the hype coming into the league. But number 1, when you are Megatron and you're named after a Transformer, you have to be at the top of the list. You haven't seen anyone come into the league with this combination of size, skill, playmaking ability. Dominated the ACC. 3-time all-conference performer, but only stayed in college 3 years. Exceptional size, speed, leaping ability. 2006 Bolitnikoff Award winner, and he lit up the combine. 4.35, 42.5-inch vertical, 11'7" broad jump. All those traits you continue to see when he was with the Detroit Lions. This is a guy that won. He was a 6-time Pro Bowl selectee, number 1 receiver, had 731 receptions, over 11,000 yards, 83 touchdowns in only 9 seasons, set the single-season mark when he had over 1,900 yards. This is a guy that deserves to be at the top of the list. He was the best prospect in that draft class, went number 2, but he is the best, the number 1 on my list. For more, you can check me out on NFL.com/Bucky Brooks, or you can listen to all the nuggets that we drop on the Move the Sticks podcast. My partner, Daniel Jeremiah, and I, 2 times a week, you can hear it.